This is Rebecca Shadid, and today I'll be presenting on digital literacy and cyber safety, a workshop presented by the Independent Living Center and funded by the Telstra Foundation as part of the Everyone Connects project. Just like an email, personal and private matters should never be shared on your wall. If it's not something you'd feel comfortable sharing in person with extended family, acquaintances, work colleagues, or strangers, then you shouldn't share it on your Facebook wall. 2. Sharing your social plans for everybody to see isn't a good idea unless you're planning a big party and inviting all the users you're connected to. It will only make your other friends feel left out. There are also some security issues at stake here. If you're planning a party or an outing with a group of friends, send a personal invitation. Otherwise, some unexpected guests might show up. 3. With 51% of social network users taking advantage of more than one site, there is bound to be some crossover from one to the other. Especially if you have the sites linked. You may post something you find on Facebook, but then it's linked to your LinkedIn work profile, and you've put your job at risk. If you link your various profiles together, be aware that what you post on one is available to the others. 4. Confidential information. You may be dying to tell the world about your new work promotion, but if it's news that could be beneficial to one of your company's competitors, then it's not something you should share. News of a planned expansion or a big project role and anything else about your workplace should be kept private. If you want to message it out, be selective and send private emails. Many companies are so serious about not being included in social networking sites that they forbid employees from using sites like Facebook at work. Some IT departments even filter the URLs and block access to these sites altogether so employees aren't tempted to log on. 5. Social networking sites are a common place for people to share pictures of their families. But if you don't restrict access to your profile, then those pictures are there for everyone to see. It's a sad fact, but there are a lot of predators who use the internet to stalk their prey. If you post pictures of your family or yourself and couple that with information like "my husband is out of town this weekend" or "little Johnny is old enough to stay at home by himself now," then your safety or your children's safety could be at risk. Nobody ever thinks it will happen to them until it does. So safety first is a good attitude when using social networking sites. 6. If you share your address and phone number on social networking site, you open yourself up to threats of identity theft and other personal dangers like thefts. If you post that you're going on a vacation and you have your address posted, then everyone knows you have an empty house. Identity thieves could pay a visit to your mailbox and open up a credit card in your name. Even just posting your phone number there gives people with internet savvy easy access to your address. Reverse lookup services can supply anyone with your home address if you can provide the phone number. 7. Never share any of your personal financial information online. Your bank will never ask you for this information in an email. 8. Even sharing the password with a friend so he or she can log on and check something for you can be a risk. This is especially true with couples who feel like there's enough trust to share these kinds of things. Here's another scenario for you. You give your boyfriend your Facebook password, but you break up after a few days. Now you have a compromised profile, and if you link to other sites or profiles, all that information is at risk as well. Keep your password to yourself, no matter what, and you never have to worry about it. 9. Most websites that contain secure personal information require a password. Also have at least one password hint in case you forget. It typically goes like this. You sign up for something like online banking and you get a login and password. And then choose a security question for when you forget your password. What's the name of your first pet? What's your mother's maiden name? Including any of these details on a Facebook wall or status update may not seem like a big deal, but it could provide an identity thief with the last piece of the puzzle needed to hack into your bank account. Think before you post anything that could compromise this information. 10. You can select all the privacy settings you want on social networking sites, but the fact is, if you post it, it has the potential to be seen by someone you don't want seeing it. So remember, do not share anything you don't want shared. Location-based services utilize geolocation information to publish your whereabouts. In some cases, these services can also provide discounts or freebies as a reward for checking in at participating businesses and gathering points. These services can also be used to share photos and other media in real time with your friends and followers. The geolocation software usually obtains its data from your device's Internet Protocol (IP) address or your Global Positioning System (GPS). Many of today's social networking sites are now incorporating location-based services that allow users to broadcast their locations via smartphone. Be aware that this technology is immensely useful to predators, thieves, and other criminals, since it makes it so simple to determine where you are and where you are not. They can access a full profile of your itinerary all day, every day. One of the most extreme examples of the dangers posed by GPS locators is the issue of domestic abuse victims who seek safety at a shelter. Volunteers have adopted a policy of removing batteries from women's phones as soon as they arrive, so that abusers cannot track their victims to the shelter. Thieves use geolocation to determine whether you are home or not, and then use that data to plan a theft. To protect yourself from broadcasting your location, you should turn off your location services on your mobile phone or only leave it enabled for applications like Maps. Most geolocation services are turned on by default. Be careful on what images and information you are sharing on social networks and when. For example, it's best to wait until you are home to upload those vacation photos. Make sure you check your privacy settings on your social networking sites that you're not sharing information on to make sure that you're only sharing information with the people that you are friends with. How can you avoid a smartphone bill shock? If you don't monitor how much data you're using each month on your smartphone or tablet, you could be in for a nasty surprise. Here's how to avoid an unexpectedly high bill. 1. Know your data allowance. If you are getting a new mobile or device, find out the monthly data allowance. It's usually measured in megabytes or gigabytes. 2. Know your billing period and extra charges. Read the fine print to see what extra charges you will incur for going over your data limit. And keep track of when your monthly billing period starts and finishes. Depending on your provider, you can be charged 10 to 50 cents for every megabyte that is over your data limit. 3. Track your data usage. Regularly check how much data you've used each month by logging into your account on your provider's website. Some providers have apps that monitor your data usage. Be aware that information about how much data you've used can be delayed by up to 48 hours. 4. Connect to Wi-Fi. Set your smartphone to connect automatically to your home or office Wi-Fi and look for free Wi-Fi hotspots when you're out. 5. Streaming and downloading video or music. Be aware that streaming or downloading video or music files and automatic software updates use up large amounts of data. 6. With international roaming, beware that charges apply for making and receiving calls when roaming overseas. Rates and charges vary, but you need to check with your service provider. Cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is when technology is used to harass, embarrass, or threaten someone. This can be anything from rude texts or hateful tweets and posts to uploading images or videos that deliberately hurt or upset another person. People who often bully find it easy to target others online because they can do it remotely, anytime they like. It doesn't cause physical injuries, but the target can suffer real and long-lasting problems like feeling anxious, depressed, or sad. So what you need to do: 1. Speak up. 2. Don't respond. 3. Keep a copy or save any email, text, posts, or anything else in case you need to prove your case at some time. 4. Block the bully. 5. Be secure. And 6. Stand up if you know someone is being bullied online. The simple netiquette rule is to think before you use online forums. And we mean by that to think: is it true? Is it hurtful? Is it illegal? Is it necessary? And is it kind? See, this cartoon represents where you could end if you do not watch out your digital footprint and reputation. The first person is saying, "unemployable due to stupid personal stuff I put on my Facebook page." The lady next to him is saying, "me too." And the gentleman at the end is saying, "for me, it was an embarrassing YouTube video." Almost everything you do with technology leaves a trace, something called a digital footprint. Your digital footprint is a bit like a map of everywhere you've been with your technology, everyone you've spoken to, and sometimes what you've said, every image or comment you've posted, and every file you've downloaded. Digital footprints are very hard, in fact almost impossible to erase. Here are some examples. Text messages and emails can be saved by the person you send them to and forwarded to many more people than you ever intended. You can delete a blog or a comment or image you've put on a site like MySpace or Facebook, but you don't know how many people have downloaded it before you deleted it, and a copy is always saved in the site's archive. Even a one-on-one chat can turn into a public conversation if the person you're talking to decides to record or copy it. Technology is great, but you do need to take some care about how you use it. So what should you do if faced with the following online scenarios? The first scenario is a charity assistance case. Many of us have received these emails before asking for money to donate money for certain charities or organizations. So what should you do? How should you react? Some of the tips are to first not open the attachment, and second, not reply to these emails, and third, to block or delete the emails. And if it's a serious thing, maybe also you can report it. Scenario number 2. You might have seen these before. Many pop-ups while you are surfing the internet. Things you've won, competitions, travel tickets, anything. How do you deal with them? Some options are to install software to help protect your computer, ignore these commercials, delete them, or even report them if possible. The last scenario is an example of cyberbullying. In this case, report the post, block the bully, or delete the comment. Now some very quick cyber safety tips. In summary, number 1, privacy. Keeping your profile set to private, checking your settings regularly, and using a strong password with a combination of upper and lowercase letters, symbols, and numbers will keep you safe when using online forums. 2. Personal information. Concealing personal information and protecting yourself from online strangers. This means not providing your full name, address, phone number, passwords, or credit card details on websites. Number 3. Location services. Thinking about your personal safety before using location-based services, such as checking in a Facebook status. 4. Friend requests. Only accept friend requests or emails from people you actually know. Digital reputation. Managing your digital reputation, as whatever goes online is stored online even after you delete it. 6. Digital footprint. Protecting your digital footprint by not putting anything online that you would not want your friends, family, teachers, or future employees to see. 7. Digital responsibility. Reporting any person, sites, or online pages that are demeaning to yourself or others. 8. Netiquette. Respecting other internet and social media users. Thank you for listening.